Hey guys, it's me, Anais. So I was tagged to do the Anything But Books tag by JD Estrada, and I will link his video, I'll link his video down below so that you can check that out. So let's just start asking these questions. Number 1, name a cartoon or cartoons that you love. Vampire Hunter D. I actually used to fall asleep every night to this movie. It's odd because it's rather violent, but for some reason I found it soothing at the time and I enjoyed it a lot, and that was just what I did. So I still like it a lot. It's classic for me, my classic. Next would be Lane, and that is kind of this weird anime series I have the box set of, and that one isn't so much violent as weird and making you think and go, what did I just see? That is one of my favorite animes. And then I have Kaleidostar, and I love the circus. I love Cirque du Soleil. If I had any talent at all, I would try to be in the circus, but I don't. So I just have to enjoy them from afar. My sister gave me the box set for Kaleidostar, and it is an anime series about a girl who is training and trying really hard to be part of a Cirque du Soleil type deal. It is not dark like the other ones that I mentioned. It's really upbeat and happy and girly, for lack of a better word, but I really enjoy that. I think that it's good to have a balance, you know, have something really ridiculously dark and then have something really light so that you have all of your bases covered. And then lastly, a Monster High, and then that is for if you don't want to have to use your brain at all, because it's all laid out there for you in adorable drawings of like monsters going to high school. What can you do? I like it. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. I firmly like it. All right, the next thing, number 2, what is your favorite song right now? My favorite song right now is Blueberry Coat by Rabbit Quinn, and I love the record version of it. It's really beautiful. I love the melody. I love the way that her voice sounds. I love the whole idea of wearing this gorgeous blueberry coat, and it, you know, almost like, for me, when I listen to the song, it's like an armor while you're going through this kind of treacherous romantic situation. And then she has a live version as well on YouTube that sounds really different, and I love that version too. She could do another version of that song and I'd be there. So definitely Blueberry Coat by Rabbit Quinn. I listen to it over and over. I don't even care. Number 3, what could you do for hours that isn't reading? Vocal training. I love singing scales. My voice teacher has become a dear friend of mine, and we joke about that we are 2 people who are so batty that we can spend hours just focusing on one little phrase and loving that work so much until our little stomach muscles are sore. This is quite a workout, so I really like doing it. I find it really relaxing and also challenging because there's always more. You know, as soon as you get one down, then there's something else that is going to kick your butt for the next 2 years, and that's just the way of it. So yes, what is something you love to do that your followers would be surprised by. I don't know. I talk about most of the things I do. Is it really that surprising? I love to look at the news and see the bizarre things that have happened, because reality is oftentimes more bizarre than fiction. I like seeing strange and wondrous things. So, browsing the news for strange and wonderful things. Let's see. Number 5. What is your favorite unnecessarily specific thing to learn about? Well, I guess neurology. Neurology is something that I like to learn about that is oddly specific. I like to see the MRI scan next to the clinical tale, so that I can kind of try to understand what's going on, even though the brain is, they don't really know. They don't know stuff. I mean, they know some stuff, but not all stuff, not most stuff. The brain is such a mystery, and maybe that's why I find it kind of exciting, because it's an area where there can be big breakthroughs at any time. And also it's very human because we are our brains. So if I read something that is about somebody's experience, like not being able to see due to migraine and not because your eyes are bad, that is fascinating. That's craziness. It's just, there's so much going on there that I think it's fascinating, and I can read about it and think about it, and I do. All right. What is something unusual that you know how to do? I know how to sail sailboats, and I know how to work on the old wooden variety, which is a lot of work, a lot of work, back-breaking work, and I used to hate it so much. The summer would come around, or the spring actually, and you know, all the other kids, it felt like, you know, you never know, you always assume, but it feels like all the other kids are off doing fun stuff, and there I am standing and caulking and painting a wooden sailboat, because they are very fickle creatures and they need constant care. But whatever, I can do it. Let's just move on then. Name something you've made in the last year and show us if you can. Okay, so I have made several things in the last year. I have made my most recent poetry collection, The Whisper Collector, and I actually made my own cover, which was really exciting, especially since I like how it came out, and I'm definitely not a graphic designer or anything like that, so it was a very happy accident. And also, of course, I wrote the book, right? And that was something, it's a very emotional book, so it was just like getting it out of your brain, and then you know, being able to move on from there. Let's see, what else did I do? I made a lot of paintings. I usually use watercolor and ink for those, and I also made 2 CDs that I put on CD Baby of music of mine, so that was good. I have an older CD called Immigration, and it has 2 songs on it that I recorded with an amazing drummer, Dwayne Scott. It was just fantastic working with him. He made the songs into, you know, living creatures that I didn't know they could be like that. And I remember really vividly when we were putting it together, and we both had our headphones on and we were listening to it, and it was just such a good feeling to have somebody that I was working with my music that was that passionate, as passionate as me. So that was good. And then I also made a Howling at the Moon live from my living room. So I played this piano right here and I sang live, and that's 12 songs, and those are newer songs, and so that one's all piano and me right here with this baby right here. And so that's my projects for this year so far. What is your most recent personal project? My goodness. So that's the Howling at the Moon live CD that I did. All the songs where I really like, all of those songs, obviously, since I put them on there. I have reams and reams of music, and those are the ones that I really love playing. Story in particular, I think that song, it almost transports me to a different place. I'll play just one little bar. It's really, I love that song. So that's a couple bars, sorry, but I love that song. I love the intensity of it, with very kind of ethereal singing. And then another song on it, Dissociate. I really like to sing that song because that one is as delicate and kind of pretty as the vocals for Story are. Dissociate, I growl, and it's just like hard-hitting, mad. Kind of took jazzy influences, jazz blues type influences, and put it in there. And so with that song, it's just very raw and emotional, and I really like that. I like that in the music that I listen to, so I'm really happy when I listen to something that I made and it has that same kind of feeling. Yeah, so that's my most recent personal project. Hopefully I will make more things this year, because I feel like I haven't done enough, and I know that that's like several projects, but it just doesn't feel like enough. Let's see. Number 9. Tell us something you think about often, maybe while staring out of windows. So I think about the past a lot. I think that that's just part of the human condition, thinking about the past. That's why we've come up with all these techniques to stop ourselves from sitting there and wasting our whole lives doing it, like meditation. But for me, I like to think on decisions that I've made and how they've turned out, and then hopefully avoid, if I did something really stupid, hopefully avoid it in the future. And also just how different, like, my life has been so very, very different. There's definitely, it feels like there's this part, and then there's this part, and then there's this part, because they're all such very, very different things. Like, for example, I live here with modern conveniences, and I was born in the wilderness in Canada, really, and so I didn't have all of the stuff that I have now that, you know, that would be so easy to take for granted. But I remember having the well freeze, and, you know, what are you going to do for water? It's so terrifying. Well, I mean, you figure it out. You go and you collect snow, and you boil it and it's okay. But the fact of the matter is that now I'm spoiled rotten. I can go to the kitchen and turn on the faucet and I know that it is going to work. So really extreme differences in my life. So I think about the past. Let's see, number 10, give us something that's your favorite, but make it oddly specific. Not like your favorite food, but like your favorite food when you've been studying for hours and forgot to eat. Or, you know, something like that. Okay, this is kind of tough because I don't know if I have many things that are like that. I guess that I drink rooibos tea mostly when I'm sick because it is caffeine free. It's not really a tea. It's like a little bush from South Africa. And so no caffeine, you're not gonna have caffeine problems with your sickness. And then it has a lot of antioxidants, so it'll help you start to get better after you're already sick. And it just is very soothing on a little sick throat. So how's that? That's what I'm going with. So too bad if you wanted something else. Okay, well, those are my answers. I am going to have my tea. My God, I've been rambling for a long time. I hope that you have tea too, and I'll talk to you next time. Goodbye.